Deputy Thomas Bingley.
Thank you, Cahir, and I welcome the opportunity to contribute to the private members' business tonight, and want to pay tribute to Fianna Fáil for bringing it forward for discussion on what is a very important issue in relation to the future of our credit unions across the country. And it's very interesting to listen to the contributions of members and indeed the Minister of State himself and talking about the credit unions and the importance of the credit union movement to everybody across society. And indeed, there's so much goodwill amongst the members of the House here towards the credit union movement that you'd wonder why we don't have actually positive engagement and positive policies in relation to the growth and the development of credit unions. And the only answer that you can come up with is that it's basically because the banks call the shots, and the banks are the ones that are driving policy. And indeed, the policy of this government has been to push big finance over and above the options that the credit unions can provide in the societies. And the government has totally pushes the for-profit sector and the banking sector and looks after them. And I've no doubt that over the years, for many years, the banks would have loved to have seen the end of the credit unions and even force credit unions to become like banks, so they could be in a position to actually take them over and to subsume them into their business model, which would be a disaster. And the credit unions have been a lifeblood for many communities right across the country. Hundreds of thousands of people have depended on them for the finance, and the amount of trust that's in the credit union movement, the banks would pale into insignificance compared to it. So I think we do need to have, belatedly at this stage, and it probably won't happen in the lifetime of this government, but we do need to have a positive policy towards credit unions, and we do need to examine the restrictions in Section 35 of the Credit Union Act to ensure that credit unions can develop, and we do need to look at how credit unions can provide services for people across the country. There's so many people in this country that are unbanked and that are penalised financially because of that, and the credit unions can provide that role. And it has been said here before in relation to credit unions and the post offices working together, two vitally important institutions right across our society, and two very trusted institutions that could work together and come together and provide financial services for citizens that are for the benefit of citizens and not the benefit of private equity investors and for private investors, but benefit citizens solely. And that, for me, I think is the reason why we haven't seen any positive engagement, and the reason why we haven't seen any move to actually develop credit unions and allow them to invest in our communities is because they are for the benefit of our citizens. And unfortunately, I think that's the thrust of public government policy, is to benefit the banking sector and forget about the citizens.
Thank you.